So hello everyone. This is our presentation for Group 3 SKMM4533 System Design. So we need to do rehabilitation device for upper limb observation. So this is my group member Abdul Shahin, Hamzah, Muhammad Shami, Muhammad Arif, and Muhammad Afiq Ikmal. So I will go to the customer need. So who needs the device? The device is needed for the people at the early stage of stroke. So then what type of that device that one needs? So this device need to assist and support their voluntary and involuntary movement and their neurological reaction. Why? Because they need to relearn skill and regain independence and improve their quality of life. So here these three pictures showing that the device help them, assist them to do any voluntary movement.
Assalamualaikum and good morning. My name is Muhammad Afiq Ikmal and I will explain about our product design specification. So first of all, this device will be based on all classes, which is B40, M40, T20, male, female and age 40 years and above in Malaysia. The price of this device is between 200 to 1,200 ringgit. This device targets stroke patient from stage 4 to stage 6. We also make the device easy to attach and detach, portable and ergonomic. This device also can be adjusted according to patient's hands. The duration of treatment is 3 to 4 months, 3 hours of active therapy per day and 5 days per week. This device also attached with mechanical sensor for the parameter reading. Other than that, this device also are self-operated without any complex calibration. This device also has a rechargeable ability. Other sensors also are attached to monitor the patient's muscle activity. Next, resistive and assistive mechanisms are attached for quicker recovery. Lastly, we decide theme for this device, which is game.
Hi, I'm Omar bin Omar, and now I'm going to present about the new fact Raphael Smart Glove, which is my product benchmark. This device is to assist rehabilitation process of stroke patients. The parameters that are taken account for are piezoresistivity, angular displacement, and acceleration of motion. The sensors will allow for gesture and joint angle tracking during rehabilitative exercises. The targeted age of this device is from 50 to 70 years old due to most common range of age for stroke patients in Malaysia. The targeted stage of rehab is from 3 to 5, stage 3 being increased spasticity, stage 4 being decreased spasticity, and finally stage 5 being complex movement combinations. The targeted users are for the M40 and T20 classes in Malaysia due to its price tag being 10,000 ringgit Malaysia. And finally, the features are lightweight, long battery life, and able to measure the slightest movement by the user.
So for my product benchmarking, I picked soft 6 finger. This device is designed to compensate the missing grasping abilities of patients with upper limb stroke. This device consists of two main parts, which is a flexible finger and a support base. The working mechanism of the device is the user will control the flexible finger to grip an object by using EMG. EMG is electromyography sensor that are attached at patient's palm. After the object are being gripped, then the patient will slowly practice their forearm, which is the main objective of this device, by doing some simple tasks such as lifting the cup, grasping some object, and even combs their hair. The therapy activities are usually for 2 hours per day. This device are being targeted for range of 50 to 70 years old. The targeted stage for this device is from stage 3 patients to stage 5 patients. Next, the targeted user is all classes in Malaysia, which is B40, M40, and T20. This device is symmetrical, which means it's suitable for both hand patients. This device also ergonomics, portable and compact in size.
Assalamualaikum and hi to everyone. I'm Shahin. I will proceed with my product benchmarking. So the product that I have benchmarked on is a device called IRES, which is based on the design of Haptinop and Richmond robots. Both of these devices are actually used by medical practitioners to assist stroke patients' recovery process. The parameters for this product are focusing on kinematic movement analysis and angular displacement acceleration, where patients can exercise their upper limb to regain their strength and control over the arm. There are no forces analyzed for this product. The mechanisms included in the product are grasping mechanism, where the device will improve the patient's hand opening and closing movement. Second mechanism is hand rotation, where it will allow the patients to exercise twisting motion for a better forearm pronation and supination. The last mechanism is the reaching mechanism for a better angular movement of the elbow. Next is the age range. Based on my research, I plan to focus on patients that are in the range of 38 until 72 years old, as stroke disease will usually occur on elderly people due to many factors that may have influenced them, such as pre-existing conditions like high blood pressure, diabetes, and etc. Next is the device has the ability to assist patients that experience from stage 3 to 6 according to Brunstrom stages of stroke recovery. For targeted users, the device will be able to cater all classes in Malaysia, where the price of the device is known to be in the range of 500 ringgit to 1000 ringgit. Finally, the device features. It can be self-operated. The process of attaching and detaching will not cause any trouble to the patients, provided that the patient's other half body is fully functional. Next is the device does not need any calibration process, so patients can just plug and play. Third, it is a non-motorized device, and the last one, it is lightweight.
Moving on to the fourth product benchmark, the product I use as reference for my product benchmarking is a device called Kick Rehab. Kick Rehab is a device created by a couple of students from the National University of Singapore as an aid for recovering stroke patients. The parameters that are important to this device is aiding rehabilitation of motor functions for daily activities. These activities include pinching, gripping, rolling, twisting, and pressing. This can all be done through various buttons and motion sensors found on the device. Next, I focused the device more to cater for people aged 60 to 70. Based on my research, this age group is the most likely to be affected by stroke. The device is to be used for stroke recovery of stages 4 to 6, and because of its relatively low prices, it is targeted for users of any class in Malaysia, be it B40, M40, and T20. Finally, for features, there are LED indicators in the buttons to indicate actuation of the buttons, as well as a rubber foam gripper for added comfort when gripping the device.
So based on my research, I chose Rogers Master 2 to be as my product benchmarking, where this device is to train fine hand manipulation, which this device mainly focusing on opening and closing of a hand. So this device is performed in hospital centers to restore hand function for stroke patient and thus improve their quality of life. So the first parameter of this device is the angular acceleration, which is opening and closing of the object by the finger, which shown by the D figure. The size and shape of the object will be different, depends on what type of task that the patient is performed. Pinching, rotation of wrist, grasping force, and hand aperture is a mechanism that involving the patient forearm. So the targeted age for the patient to use this device is from 50 to 60 years old. Also, the patient with stage 4 until stage 6 rehabilitation can use this device. So the targeted user is a monthly income around of 1,200 ringgit and below. So the feature of this device is the mechanical design of this device is adaptable to any shape and size of a hand. So the actuators is the sensor that giving output by the patient when they use the device. So the parallelograms made of carbon fiber, which means they are lightweight.
Next, for the morphology chart, we each came up with 5 concepts. So altogether, there are 5 concepts in the chart. The functions that we focused on are how to secure the patient's hand, the assist, the reduced assist, and also the resistive criteria, as well as the reading parameters. Okay, for the how to secure the hand, we have a steel strap, a belt, a wristband, and also a Velcro strap. For the assist, we have shoulder subluxation sling, assisted robotic gripper, robotic arm brace, arm stand, and also a hydraulic elbow support. For the reduced assist, we have electrical patches, elbow stabilizer brace, wrist brace, mechanical vibrator, and also elbow brace. For the resist, we have a one-way gear with chain, a spring-resisted grip glove, rope with snape shackles, elastic band, and also shoulder strap. And for the reading parameters, we have pressure, angular displacement, spring gauge, meter gauge, and also motion sensors.
Okay, now we go to the concept generation. It is a combination of different functions in morphological chart to produce different features of the device. From the morphological chart here, I chose Velcro strap to secure the device. For assisting, I chose robotic arm brace. For reduced assisting, I chose elbow stabilizer brace. For resisting, I chose elastic band. And finally, the reading parameter will be angular displacement with rotary position sensor. Alright, now we move on to the features. First, we have Velcro strap, which is to secure the arm part of the device. Next, we have main processing unit, which is secured by a belt. This is to store data and to transmit necessary signals to the device. It also consists of 3 button modes for full assist, partial assist, and resist. It is also powered by a rechargeable lithium-ion battery. Next, we have motorized brace. This will provide full assist for stage 4 of rehab process, which is the decreased spasticity. It is also able to switch to partial assist for stage 5, which is the complex movement combination. Next, we have the detachable rubber band, which will resist motion of arm for stage 6, where spasticity completely disappears. And finally, we have interactive games like table tennis for rehabilitative exercises, which you can open from your device.
So, for my concept generation, I pick wristband as the concept for the secure hand function. Then, I choose arm stand for assist function. Then, for the reduce assist function, I choose electrical patch. Next, for the resist function, I choose spring. And lastly, for the reading parameter function, I pick pressure gauge as a concept. So basically, my concept generation device, it has 3 stages of exercise, which is stage 4, 5, and 6. Patients easily access to each stage anytime according to patient's ability. This device also has stimulation button for triggering the electrical signal patch for stimulating the muscle for quicker recovery. Other than that, this device has a touch screen monitor for the user interface that consists of device setting, patient's level, patient history exercise, and also have game for the user that will bring more joy and excitement during the rehabilitation period.
Okay, so the third concept generation is my concept generation based on the morphology chart that we have constructed. So the green line drawn on the table here is the design that I have chosen for each function. First, I chose Velcro strap for hand securing design due to its simplicity and it is easy to use. For the major assisting design, I chose the robotic arm brace because of its high endurance and portability. For the reduced assist mechanism, I chose electrical signal patches that can stimulate the muscles along the upper limb to quickly reduce patient's spasticity faster. In the concept generation diagram here, the electrical patches are embedded inside the robotic arm brace, so it is easier to maintain and attaching the device to the patient's arm. For the next function, the resistive mechanism, I chose the spring-resisted grip glove where patients will be able to exercise their hand and finger motion, which indirectly can exercise forearm muscle to regain back the strength and motion. Finally, for reading parameter device, I chose mechanical pressure sensor that will be attached to the spring of the spring-resisted grip glove, where patients can monitor their progress by looking at the gauge attached on the spring glove. For the theme of the device, we have decided to choose a game theme, and for this device, the game that I designed is called Finger Reflex Game. So basically, LEDs are attached on each of the spring for the spring-resisted grip glove. There will be multiple stages that suits with the patient's condition. So the game will be based on a time trial game where the LEDs will light up randomly within the 5 LEDs each for each finger, and when the LED lights up, the patient needs to move the finger, synchronizing the lighted LED. This way, the patients will be less boring, improve their reflexes, and eventually recover quickly.
To secure the hands, I went with Velcro for its adjustability and ease of use. Then, as an assistive method, a robotic gripper glove was selected to aid patients in gripping the device. The wrist brace was decided as a way to reduce the assistance of the device. Next, a shoulder sling is used to restrict the shoulder movements and promotes and stimulates muscle signals. Lastly, a motion sensor detector was used to detect movements such as presses, grips, pinches, and twist motions of the device.
So this is how concept generation 5 is produced. First, I choose the wristband to be the secure hand for the device is to make the patient to feel comfortable with the device, not too very strong or not too very loose. Second, I choose to have the shoulder subluxation sling is to support the patient arm in a fixed position. Next, I choose the elbow stabilizer brace is to maintain and stabilize the position of the forearm if the patient is shaking. I also embedded electrical signal patches where the electrical signal will induce the movement of the forearm. Next, I will choose the resist to be the elastic band because the elastic band have the greatest storing force. Lastly, I choose the reading parameter to be the spring gauge, where the spring gauge they will have an indicator from low to high, which follow by the stage of rehabilitation. And then the game that I apply to this concept is the patient need to pull the gauge following it beats, and the level of beats from slow to fast is also following by the stage of rehabilitation.
So we have reached to the final content of this presentation, which is the concept selection. Here we have reviewed all of the concepts made by each one of us, and there are three main criteria that we included in the table, which is first, the production. Here we reviewed the cost and the number of parts included to manufacture each concept. Second criteria is based on performance. How is the overall performance based on its function, simplicity, comfortability, and durability, which dictates how well the design will be able to last longer. The physical attributes and space saving is actually representing the device portability. This shows whether it is easier for patients to move around with the device attached or whether it is hard. Next is accuracy and reliability of the device reading parameters. So here we reviewed on how does the device's reading parameter perform and is it suitable enough for patients and etc. Finally, for performance, the assistive and resistive effectiveness of the concept. So here, how well the main functions of the device operate and perform. The third and the last criteria that we included in the table is aesthetic of the device. The physical appearance of the device can attract patients to own it and kind of lift up the patient's motivation to have the device due to its good look. The weightage have been set and performance shows that it have the greatest weightage with 81% of the total weightage, followed by production with 12.5% and aesthetic with 6.5%. In conclusion, we have found that concept 1, Arif's concept, have the highest score with 0.89. However, concept 1 requires a modification for the accuracy and reliability of the device's reading parameter. This can be shown on the table where the device has a low score in that particular criteria. The possible way to modify this criteria by implementing concept 2, device's reading parameter, where for that particular criteria, concept 2 has the highest score compared to 4 other concepts. So that's all from us, and we have reached to the end of the video presentation. Thank you to all of you who have watched this video presentation. Goodbye and Assalamualaikum.